live. Okay, welcome to, well, if anybody's watching, the live version of the Lost Vegas podcast. I am Lost Vegas, I guess. Chris Vega. But how you guys doing? First, I just want to let you guys know, I guess, a little bit about what the podcast is going to be and a bit about myself. Right now, I actually started this because I've actually wanted to do it for a long time. As you'll find out, I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I'm kind of a fan, I guess. But yeah, I actually started this because I'm going to school for photography, and part of my social media class kind of dealt with this, so that's how it all started. But yeah, I'm excited to get it going. I'm from Youngstown, Ohio. It's a very very special place. It's right in the middle of everything. I've got suburbs I'm living in. If I drive 20 minutes down the road, I'm liable to get shot or catch myself a bag of some crack or something. And then if I drive like 10-15 minutes another way, it's like one of the 50 nicest places to live. At least at one point it was in some magazine. So you got it all here. You got the preppies, you got the hood, you got just the regular ass people. It's kind of nice, but wouldn't be bad to get out of here. About right in between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, like an hour away from each. So that's cool too. Head up to those cities every once in a while. But yeah, let me see here. I'm just figuring out this recording thing. I'm pretty sure it sounds right. I'm not sure if the live version is going to sound very good. Because I'm doing this in the car, and actually it's the only place I can be sure I can get some like peace and quiet. And so I'm all set up in this car with a microphone hooked up to my steering wheel. Let me show you this Jimmy rig real quick before see. That's my nice little pop filter. And got the computer just recording away. So yeah, this is how it rolls. What's up, Garrett? I see you join. How are you, sir? What's going on? You ready for this Masters? I'm ready for this Masters. Me and a couple of my good buddies, we started. Oh man, we were just talking about it like maybe 10 years ago. Started this thing where we golfed a lot, and we started to get trophies for each of the four major tournaments during the golf season. PGA Tour, and it's been going on strong for a while, and our first big tournament's coming up, so everybody's trash talking about how the other person's gonna choke, and how somebody in particular has a bunch of Masters trophies. We name them right after the same PGA Tour event, so it's Masters and US Open, British Open, if you follow all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, it's a good time. But alright, well, I want to get to a little bit more of something that's been going on recently. It's kind of crazy. This Boulder, Colorado thing, that's something real. Illinois, some city in Chicago has already passed it before, or not in Chicago, I'm sorry, some city in Illinois. So yeah, I'm a dumb ape. They passed a law that it's giving gun owners a certain amount of time to either sell or do whatever they can to get rid of their guns, and then they're going to be fined like $1,000 a day afterwards. Boulder, Colorado, much bigger city, more notable city, has proposed to do something of the same thing. It's a hot topic. It's a very hot topic that requires a lot of dissection. I wonder, there's so many questions, especially about more checks or background checks or whatnot, and a lot of people seem to think that it's like a cakewalk to get a gun or whatever, and it's not that simple. It's not that simple. And then to even go into like the mental aspect, the mental checks, prescriptions, what prescriptions are people on, and then it comes to are you taking away somebody's right to own something before they even have done anything wrong? If somebody's dealing with anxiety or PTSD, that doesn't mean that they're gonna just go haywire. So that's something to consider as well. And then there's just the statistics about how many people, like what gun deaths the percentages really are as far as suicides, how many of them are actually police-related incidents where the police officers have taken the lives of somebody, either rightfully or wrongfully. That's a whole nother subject. But it's really interesting. It kind of scares me because a lot of people like to bring up they had muskets back then, and this isn't what you guys don't need this kind of firepower and this and that, and a lot of people forget why that law was there in the first place, and what the motivation of that was. It was because they left England because they knew that there was control. There was a control issue. You can't, as they say, the government should fear its people, and that's part of it, I guess. Us being able to defend ourselves. You go back in history and look at a lot of communist countries, fascist countries, socialist countries, whatever, that happen to take your guns. And then what happens? Well, we've seen how that goes. But people tend to forget, and I get it. I understand. There's a lot of, these school shootings are horrible. There's something that can be done. One thing I heard was that these the whole idea of safe zones, gun-free zones, that whole sort of thing. And the idea that, if you take away the people's right to defend themselves, it's only going to take away the people's rights that actually follow the law, because criminals, they're not going to stop. They're not going to just give their guns up. So that's just going to make law-abiding citizens more vulnerable. That's another point. But just that whole idea, of safe zones, school safe zones, gun-free zones. If you're going to do that, if you're going to have those types of places, then you need to have metal detectors there. If a school is going to be gun-free, then make sure it's gun-free. Put metal detectors there. There's clubs. You go into a club or a bar, you're getting fucking wanted, And there's, it's not easy to get a gun in there. Now, granted, shootings happen, but there's alcohol involved. There's a whole lot of other things that contribute to that. In a school, there's hormones, I guess, involved in that. But as far as, the comparison, it's just, you if you're going to have gun-free zones, then make them truly gun-free and put a metal detector up. You do that when you go to court. All that stuff, it just makes sense, because if you say this is a gun-free zone, then only the people that are going to abide by that are good people. And the people that don't care aren't going to. It's just there's nothing there to stop them. A sign isn't going to stop somebody from walking into somewhere with a gun. It's just not going to work. That's not how things work. So I think that's one thing that's really important, is something like that. And then, yeah, of course you're going to have an armed guard. And you can't tell me that, you can't find, police officers or veterans or, somebody, firearm instructors, somebody that would be willing to either donate or on a smaller scale, get paid, a small sum to do that, to watch the doorway or whatever for the day. I mean, that's not that big of a deal, right? That should be something that's funded if we're going to protect kids in schools. It's crazy that it has to come to that, but this is, this ain't the 1950s anymore. So it's a reality we have to face, but I don't think that taking people's guns or banning certain types of guns is really the answer. Because that's just, what happens when you're a little kid and your mom says, don't get the cookies, you can't have those, you gotta wait, or you can't have this, you can't have that. You want it more. It makes it more valuable. It drives the demand up. And so, you see that already every time that, a school shooting happens and people are threatening about guns and take these guns away. What happens? The sales of those guns skyrocket. It skyrockets. So, it's not the right way to go about it. And you see that in the drug war, and how that's failed. So, there is actually, there's something that needs to be done. I mean, we've seen small scale tests on how, even large scale tests on the effects of taking guns away from the citizens. It doesn't really, lower the crime rate. Violent crime is still the same, and people are getting more inventive, and it gets more gruesome. So, I mean, it's like, it's a crazy question, and it's one that you shouldn't have to ask, but, if the same amount of people and the same amount of violent crime is happening, would you rather it be with a bomb or acid or a butcher's knife, or would you rather it be with a gun? I mean, I know that's a crazy thing to ask, but just think about that. And I'm not saying that's something that we should be like, that makes guns a better choice. I mean, that's a horrible thing to think about. But I'm just saying that if people are going to do something, you're going to do it one way or another. And at least guns are something that are supposed to be registered and can be dealt with, and there's a framework there of how to deal with them. There's no framework of how to deal with IEDs or acid or somebody walking down the street with a kitchen knife in their pocket. It's not, it's just it's going to devolve into something. So it's just one of those things, man. Like, I mean, you see it in London, Australia, again, I mean, if you go back even farther to, socialist countries, and you go to, like, D.C., Chicago, they have some of the strictest gun laws, and it's where the most shootings happen. Now, on a micro scale of that, thinking about school shootings, another thing that we have to think about is what is the mind state of these people, of these kids, the environment that they're in, because if you think about it, there's a lot of violence in ghettos. There's not a lot of school shootings in the ghettos. There's not a lot of violence in the suburbs, but this is where you find the school shootings happening. And I think that's something that might also be overlooked. There's a factor there. There's something there. I hate to do it, but I'm going to. probably more often than I should. But one of the podcasts that I do listen to a lot, and I'm sure if any of you listen to podcasts, you'll be familiar with the Joe Rogan Experience. He had a sit down with Colion Noir. He is a NRA gun rights activist. He's a lawyer, and he's a host of a web series called NRA Freestyle. But that conversation that they had was really informative. It's coming from, a different perspective, and I'm sure that, as soon as you hear NRA, you know that they're going to be pro-gun. But I myself, as you can tell, am pro-gun, and there's a lot of things that I didn't even think about that he brought up really good points of that I can't even remember, and their conversations are 2 to 3 hours, so that's a lot of information to take in. But it was a really good conversation. I would direct you to it. But it was number 1106. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good one to check out. I see my cousin join. Hey Bree, how are you? But anyway, that's like a really, it's just such a complex topic. It's such a complex topic, and it's just, it's becoming more and more prevalent in the news, and you see a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of misleading information that either stretches the truth, if there is even such a thing, or it ignores certain things while promoting others, to promote a certain side. It's just, it's so hard that, and it's a tough topic to talk about. I mean, a lot of people don't, they're not, it's almost a taboo subject. And if you're, somebody that is pro-gun, a lot of people, there's emotion involved, because kids are dying, so it's hard to have a conversation instead of an argument. Discussion is very important, but you have to put your emotion aside and look at the facts and look at the thing as a whole, because there's a lot of factors going on that we haven't even considered, as far as just what kind of upbringing, as far as are these kids growing up in crappy homes, and what does that do as far as, like, I'm talking income, like again, like going back to the kids in the ghettos and the the lower income families and that sort of thing. What is it about that experience through their childhood that doesn't allow some certain switch to flip, and then what is it about suburb life that does, and then there's so many other things. I mean, people want to talk about music or Marilyn Manson or whatever like that. Oh, you just came here to argue? That's funny. But yeah, I mean, it goes to, they want to talk about music and rap and all that, and what's on TV and everything like that. And that's another thing. It's like, people in the 60s and 70s thought that the things that the kids were seeing on that TV was going to do the same thing that people in the 90s thought that TV and video games were going to do to kids, and the same thing that people think today that video games and stuff are going to do to kids. And I don't think that that's it, but there's definitely something to be said about the how to put it, the I don't know, I guess the being used to it aspect of seeing certain things, and I don't know, like I guess I'm myself, I've always been like kind of number to things like that, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't bother me. um and I've never like, of course, when I'm like playing a shooting game or something like that, of course I'm immersed. I'm fully engaged. But it's pretty. I guess it was pretty easy for me to separate that. I mean, it's just a game. That's all it is. Sometimes you can actually learn things from games that maybe could even save your life. I've seen some things that, like, if I were in a certain situation and I didn't have that information, I would probably be dead. And I've never been in that situation, but had I been and I didn't know the information I had got from playing a video game, yeah, I might have died. Somebody could die. But regardless, it's easy to separate. It's easy to separate, and that it's a video game. It's just a game. Seeing it on TV and in the movies and stuff, it's just fake. That's like why when you go and you see a car accident, like, you can't help but look, but you don't want to. Like, you don't want to because it's bad, but you can't help but look. You see the devastation, you see the car all cracked up and dented and smashed, and you see where, like, a car T-boned another car or something, and you're just kind of like replaying that in your own head of what if you were to experience it. Like, everybody does that, right? I'm not the only one that thinks that deeply into it, right? I hope not. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting low battery and stuff here on my phone. That's no good. But anyway, yeah, I don't really think that video games have that big of a deal to it. I guess it has something to do with it, a little bit, but nowhere near like, it's causing this. Nobody never plays a video game and then all of a sudden plays a video game and then they're like, I'm gonna go shoot some people. That just doesn't happen. It's not how it works. And again, this is a discussion that needs to be had. I'm not expecting people to hear this and think like, oh yeah, just because I listen to him, I'm gonna instantly change my mind. Just because I heard that opinion, I would hope that people would have more discussions like this, so that way it's a conversation that keeps going, and it creates an understanding between each side, and then there's a way to compromise. That's how you build a bridge. You don't build a bridge by throwing the bricks that you're supposed to build a bridge with at each other. You build a bridge by talking to each other and saying, oh, well, you want this, and I understand that, and I can see where that comes from, and I want something that's, sort of similar, so we can, make a bridge. We could put this brick here, and then, maybe we'll put the next one here. It's a process. It's not just done overnight. It's not done in one. What is this? Oh, what the hell? It's a process. It's not just a. Oh, shut up, car. Yes, I am doing this from my car. It's comfortable in here. I think I said that already, but yeah. Man, it's getting dark. Jesus. Yeah, it's getting dark. How long we been doing this here? How long we been doing this? What was I even talking about? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Okay, not too long. I was gonna say, Jesus. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I was talking about, I don't know. See that? My car dinging. I was talking about video games weren't the problem. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, this is it though. It is getting dark out. This is going to be a long long editing process. That's one thing also. This is going to be, I don't know if I'm going to do it all the time live on Instagram, but that's where you can catch it right now. But my recordings are going to all be one shot. There's not going to be any editing. I'm not going to, cut anything out. You're going to get the uhs and the dead radio and the me trying to think all with everything else. So, yeah, that's it. You're getting it live, or live-ish if you're getting it from SoundCloud or iTunes when I put it up there. I'm going to wait until I get about 4 or 5 episodes deep before I throw it to iTunes, so that way when people go on there, they'll have a little bank to listen to, in the beginning at least. So, and then what I'm going to probably do is I'll probably throw out, I'll probably do like a half hour, maybe longer, depending on what I'm thinking about or whatever, topics of the day, or if I've got a guest. I'll probably do 1 or 2, short sessions a week. Short sessions, I can speak. And then think about putting those 2 together and then just dropping them on Sunday. And then I don't know how iTunes works, but that would probably end up being Monday or Tuesday, however that process is. I don't know how long it takes. But yeah, I'm never gonna be editing anything on the audio podcast. When I do videos, there's gonna be a massive amount of editing, and that's part of the reason why I'm not doing them every week, because it's very time consuming. And as I said, I'm going to school, although I've got only like a week left of that. And then I'll have the summer free, so that's when I'll probably throw out a few of those videos. But yeah, I just don't have the time doing school and then working full time and stuff too, and other stuff. Yeah, it's just it's not that easy to put out a video every so often, because they're not going to be short. They will be longer. Commentary, documentary, whatever I decide. Maybe if I'm really lucky and I find something that's really cool, I can get some people to collaborate. And do some sort of documentary about something. That would be awesome. But yeah, that would be great. I would love to do that. What are you saying here? Well, we got. Do some on Facebook so Lawrence can see. Tell him to get an Instagram. I don't know if I'm gonna do. I don't know if I can do Facebook Live from my page. I might be able to do it from my page. I might do that. Yes, Mr. McIntyre, we could do that. As I was talking about earlier, the whole golf thing going on that me and my friends do. My buddy is watching on Instagram right now, and he just commented about the Masters being seeing if we'll throw it up live. So yeah, I'll probably throw it up live on my on either this page, or I might do it on my other page, Lost Vegas, or not Las Vegas, Vegas without the S. It's DAS, because there wasn't enough characters for the. Come on, Instagram. Come on. Just one more. One more character. That's all I needed. Just one. But no, I got to do duh. Like I'm German. Or is that German? Is it Czech or Dutch or something? Like yes, isn't that for yes? Da. I don't know. I just remember some dude from Triple X answering the phone that way. He was the bad dude with the long hair. Glorious long hair. But anyway, let me see here. Oh, I'm about a half hour in. How about that shit? How about that? Another thing about the podcast, yeah, I'm gonna have guests. The reason actually why my podcast is called Las Vegas is because of the person that's probably going to be the first guest on the show. I'm probably going to put out 1 or 2 more, so I'm comfortable, and and get the audio mixing and all that garbage correct, so that way it sounds right when I put it out. But he'll probably be the first guest there. Garrett, a good close friend of mine. Goddamn genius. But yeah, anyway, probably my best friend here. He when I told him about the podcast, I had an idea and I didn't know what to call it. And I had told him, I listen to Joe Rogan, it'll probably be something like that. And I listen to a bunch of podcasts, and he knows me obviously really well. So, and another thing about me is that I like gambling. I love Lost Vegas. I would want to live in Las Vegas. That would be glorious. I might die within 5 years of moving there, but it would be a great 5 years. Oh, it would be great. But anyway, yeah, he told me, within 3 seconds, he just sat there for a second thought and just said Lost Vegas. It was the first thing he said, and I said, that's fucking it. It's fucking perfect. It could be taken so many ways, because, Vegas, obviously, I was just talking about my love for Las Vegas. I love that place. And I like gambling, so that's part of it. And I enjoy my vices as well, which Vegas is definitely Sin City. And also, my last name is Vega, and a couple of people call me Vegas, so that works. And the lost aspect of it, I'm just kind of, especially with the podcast, I'm kind of exploring my curiosity, just kind of wandering. That's why it's kind of subtitled as The Weekly Wander, because I'm just kind of wandering. Obviously, I have no script here. There's plenty of times where I didn't know what the hell I was going to say. There was a couple of times where I was like scrambling on my head, like, what the fuck am I going to talk about? Oh shit, I'm losing it. Oh, it's dead airspace. But yeah, it is what it is. So, but yeah. He came up with that, and he will hopefully be the first guest. We'll probably delve into some really deep stuff. We can always get into really deep conversations about, sheesh, you name it, from physics and the universe and souls and galaxies and just the deepest conversations. And we can also be complete jackasses and make fun of each other and have a good time, so it's going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. So hopefully soon I'll be able to get some sort of other equipment and be able to have a secondary mic and make it so it sounds right. But yeah, that'll be coming soon, so I'm excited for that. Well, it's getting supremely dark in here. I think I have drained my car battery charging my computer, because now my computer is starting to die, and I probably have about 10% left on this live feed from my phone as cars are passing by. It's getting dark. You could probably barely see me. Yeah, I've had to be hunched over this whole time because my mic is right here, like right here. I showed you earlier, and I want it to sound good in the audio. And so if I'm like leaning way back here, you can barely hear me. I have to speak up a lot louder. So, and I don't want to do that. I want to speak in my normal talking voice. And as much as my back hurts right now from being in this position, I'd rather talk like this. So anyway, yeah, it's funny because I'm recording this on a something that is normally used for music, but it's audio recording. You can record anything, right? So it's recording, and it's going through steps and bars, and right now I'm at 1,000 bars. So y'all can take that, rappers, 100 bars and running. Try going 1,000. All right, beat that shit. I want to hear it. No, seriously, that would be insane. That would be a half hour straight. That would be really impressive. Speaking of impressive rapping, another friend of mine, His rap alias is Kang, Kaing, I think, or maybe it's Kiang. Fuck, I gotta look it up now because I'm gonna feel like a real fool, real dick if I don't get that right. Let me see. Yes, I was right. Kaing, Kang. He's a good friend of mine from same place. Glorious, up and coming city of Youngstown, Ohio. If you listen to Jim Rome show, you'll understand that reference. Anyway, he might actually be able to go 1,000 bars in running. He's hilarious in his lyrics. A lot of people try to compare him to Eminem. At least his flow is, but he's got a good bank of songs on SoundCloud, and I would check him out. But he's actually starting to get back into music. He took a little hiatus, had some kids and such, and but he's getting back into it. I'm really excited. And he also, heard about the podcast, and he always wanted to do it too. And so we'll probably have him on as well, and that'll be upcoming. And I don't know, coming month and a half, 2 months, something like that. And I know he's got equipment, so I could just bring my laptop and my stuff over there, and we could set it up and do it real quick. So that won't be a problem. But anyway, yeah, you should check him out. He's got some great music. I might actually feature one of his songs, if possible, on the podcast here a couple of times, just to get him some play, because he deserves some notoriety. He's really good. He works hard. But yeah, anyway, as I said before, and I keep pushing it back because I keep rambling, it's getting dark out here. You guys probably can't see a damn thing anymore, but that's okay. You don't need to see my ugly mug anyway. Yeah, I think we're gonna shut it down here, because I don't have anything more to say at the moment. I have no more announcements as far as this goes. But yeah, follow me on Instagram right here when you see it live, Lost Vegas Media. Check out my my other photography Instagram at Vegas without the S. I also have Lost Vegas Media pages on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And I also have another little offshoot. It's called it's a Twitch account and a YouTube page for video games, because you might have been able to tell from me defending them earlier, I enjoy them, and so I'll play them every once in a while, and sometimes I'll throw that on the interwebs for people to watch, if you enjoy that sort of thing. But that page is just called... Oh, don't talk to me. Do not talk to me. Damn you. Anyway, that page is Lost Vegas. That's just Lost Vegas. And then you can also, check out the Las Vegas Media page as well. But anyway, yeah, I think that's it. That was a good start. It was a good first episode. I hope I informed you a little bit. Maybe made you a little curious about gun control, and wanted to check that out a little bit more. Bree, tell Bubsy that he needs to get on Instagram so he can check me out. Garrett, absolutely, we will do a little live Las Vegas from our golf tournament at the Masters. I'm playing at Boulder Creek in Streetsboro, Ohio. It's a gorgeous course. It's like, I wish that fairway was my carpet in my house. That's how gorgeous it is. Yeah, it's that nice. It's that nice. So, I'm excited for that. But anyway, oh shit. Wilbur, what's up, sir? Nigga Will, how are you? You just missed out, brother. I'm about to take off. It's nice to see you join, though. But yeah, we're about 40 minutes deep, and yeah, we're about to take off here. But anyway, yeah, check me out at those other pages, and I'm not sure exactly where my next. Oh shit, there it goes. 10% low battery. Yep, we're going down. We're going down. Oh, 10% low battery on my computer. Oh shit. See this? This is just perfect timing. It's time to roll. Yep. Anyway, thank you for checking me out. I'm glad to see you guys here, especially my close fam and fellas. But yeah, again, check me out. Those pages are Lost Vegas Media on basically everything, but I don't have a Snapchat, but I have an Instagram, Facebook page, a Twitter, a YouTube, Lost Vegas on YouTube as well for my video game endeavors, and Vegas without the S for my photography and pictures, and hopefully I can get into some photojournalism. And yeah, thank you for checking me out, and I will see you guys later. Enjoy your night, have a good weekend, and that's it. Peace out. Goodbye.